Well, in Britain, a new report from a powerful parliamentary committee finds that former Prime Minister Boris Johnson knowingly misled lawmakers over the so-called Partygate scandal. Johnson is accused of breaching his own COVID-19 lockdown rules to hold gatherings at 10 Downing Street. He stunned colleagues by resigning from Parliament last week. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams is in London with the very latest. And I just want to clarify, yes, he is no longer the Prime Minister, but he was still a minister in Parliament. So that has since changed, obviously. I see you're about to say something. Go ahead.
He was still a member of Parliament until Friday, Anne-Marie. Yeah, look, this all goes back to 2020, 2021, and a series of gatherings, or let's call it what they were. They were parties involving senior government and Conservative Party staff during lockdowns or when there were other restrictions in place. When it first came out, it caused a huge scandal in this country. So much outrage from people who weren't able to be with their loved ones in hospital when they were dying, or weren't able to attend funerals because of lockdown rules. And meanwhile, these parties were going on. Several of the gatherings took place at number 10 Downing Street. That's the residence and office of the British Prime Minister. Boris Johnson was the Prime Minister at the time. He's already been made to pay several fines by the police over this, and he's apologised. But the Privileges Committee, which is a parliamentary committee here in the UK, investigated statements that Boris Johnson made to Parliament about those gatherings. And after several months, it's delivered this report. It's around 100 pages long, and it is simply damning for Boris Johnson. It is brutal. They conclude that he deliberately misled the House of Commons. That's the lower house in this country. In particular, Johnson claimed in Parliament that officials told him that social distancing rules had been followed at all times at the gatherings. The committee concluded that that simply was not true. They also concluded that he not only deliberately misled the House of Commons, but the committee itself when he testified in front of it.
Wow. So how has Boris Johnson responded then?
Well, Boris Johnson, as usual, has come out swinging, saying that the committee reached a, quote, deranged conclusion which contradicted the facts. He called the committee a kangaroo court and said the report was, quote, the final knife in a protracted political assassination. His own assassination, he means. Now, others would see things completely differently and point out that the 7-person committee actually included 4 Conservatives. That's members of Johnson's own party. And they would argue that it was Johnson's own behaviour that led him to this point, not an assassination.
So he called the committee a kangaroo court. Does the committee have any teeth? Can the committee, apply consequences for this behaviour?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. So there are calls from within Parliament for Boris Johnson to lose the allowance that he gets as a former Prime Minister, which is worth, around $145,000 a year. He resigned, you just pointed this out before, he resigned as a Member of Parliament just on Friday before the report came out, but when he had already seen the findings. Now, why did he do that? Well, if he was still a Member of Parliament, then he could be facing a 90-day suspension from Parliament, which would be hugely humiliating. Look, I think you sort of have to assume that this is finally the end of Boris Johnson's political career. But on the other hand, Johnson has weathered so many scandals previously, I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, I wouldn't count him out. I don't know if I put my chips on him either, to tell you the truth. But what does that mean for the current Prime Minister, though, Rishi Sunak?
So Rishi Sunak was also fined for his attendance at one of those lockdown gatherings, and he was also fined. So he's sort of tainted by the same scandal in a kind of residual way. But on the other hand, I suspect this gives Rishi Sunak a lot of hope that he has finally got rid of this political rival who snipes from the sidelines and is always threatening to make a political comeback.
Ooh, Holly, thank you very much.
Thank you.